Have you ever noticed that the more you question the world, the fewer people you can talk to about it? The deeper your thoughts go, the more distant you seem from everyone else. And it's not because you've done something wrong. It's because, in every age, people who think differently have been met with suspicion, not for their mistakes, but for their clarity. History is filled with names like Hypatia, Giordano Bruno, and Alan Turing, minds ahead of their time, silenced, ridiculed, or ignored. Not because they lacked reason, but because their vision cut through the illusions most people cling to. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Deep thinkers don't just see the world, they reveal parts of it that others would rather leave in the dark. But why does society react this way? When you meet someone stronger than you, it's easy to admire their strength. When you meet someone wealthier, you might envy them, but you don't feel like they've attacked who you are. Intellectual superiority, however, is different. Psychologists talk about something called the cognitive mirror. When you encounter someone who thinks at a higher level, you're forced to see the limits of your own thinking. And most people don't forgive that mirror for showing them their own blind spots. Intelligence hits deeper than beauty, money, or strength because it touches identity. We define ourselves by what we believe, by how we understand the world. So when someone challenges those beliefs, even without meaning to, it feels personal, almost like a threat to the self. This explains why, across history, thinkers who question the accepted order often find themselves pushed to the edges of society. They don't just challenge ideas, they challenge egos. And egos, by nature, are defensive. You might have experienced this yourself. Maybe you tried bringing up a thought-provoking idea at a casual gathering. Instead of curiosity, you were met with awkward silence. Or someone quickly changed the subject. This isn't coincidence. It's a kind of social reflex, a defense mechanism designed to protect comfort. In fact, research shows that in many social settings, confidence is valued more than truth. People gravitate toward those who speak with certainty, even when their ideas are shallow. Meanwhile, deep thinkers, who often speak with nuance and caution, can come across as hesitant or overly complex. History rewards the charismatic simplifier, not the careful philosopher. Modern neuroscience offers another clue. When people feel intellectually outmatched, the brain's fear center, the amygdala, lights up. It reacts as if there's danger, even though the threat is just another person's ideas. This makes sense from an evolutionary point of view. For most of human history, survival depended not on being the smartest in the group, but on staying in the group at all. Challenging the tribe's beliefs could mean rejection, and rejection could mean death. That's why our brains still treat social acceptance like survival, and deep thinking like a risk. Interestingly, studies show that one-on-one, people are far less threatened by intelligence. But in groups, the threat response spikes. Why? Because in groups, social status comes into play. If someone feels outshined, they may subconsciously try to silence, undermine, or exclude the one who makes them feel small. Not out of malice, but out of self-preservation. And this resistance is strengthened by mental biases. Overconfidence bias. Those who know the least often believe they know the most. Status quo bias. Comfort with familiar ideas over unsettling truths. The backfire effect. When confronted with facts that challenge their worldview, people double down instead of reconsidering. Today, social media adds another layer. Platforms reward content that is simple, emotional, and shareable. The more complex and nuanced your thought, the harder it is to compress into a viral clip. As a result, quick entertainment outruns deep insight, and thinkers who refuse to oversimplify are often drowned out. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once argued that intelligence isn't a gift at all, but a burden. While most people are driven by the will to live, the pursuit of comfort, pleasure, and security, deep thinkers are driven by the will to truth. They want to see reality as it is, even if it's unsettling, and the more they understand, the less they can participate in the illusions that make others happy. This creates a gap. Where the majority find joy in entertainment, routine, and small talk, the thinker feels restless, even disillusioned. They see through polite dishonesty and status games. They want conversations that cut to the bone of meaning. But those conversations are rare, and yet Schopenhauer didn't see this as purely tragic. He believed the isolation of intelligence could be managed, even embraced. His advice was simple. Value solitude, not as exile, but as a space to think, create, and grow. Find your tribe. Even if it's small, seek those who share your depth of curiosity. Choose your moments. Share deep ideas with those ready to hear them, not with those who will only resist. In the end, intelligence is a double-edged sword. It lets you see the truth more clearly, but it can also separate you from the crowd. The price of clarity is often loneliness, but the reward is freedom. Because once you see, you can never go back to being blind.